Hey guys, I'm Milan with Pro Beats, and in today's video I want to show you how I took this track from this.
Yeah, let's go. I don't wanna give you the wrong impression. I don't wanna give you, girl, what you wanna know. I'ma answer your question.
To this.
Girl, just let me know. I go where you go, just give me a direction. Send me location. All I need is your love and your affection. Yeah.
I will also have the session available for download on my website. You can check that out if you're interested. I will talk more about it at the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit the like button. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to play you just a bit of the session.
Modest, I don't wanna give you, yeah. Let's go. I don't wanna give you the wrong impression. I don't wanna give you, girl, what you wanna know. I'ma answer your questions. Girl, just let me know. I go where you go, just give me a direct part to express myself. Don't know where to start, think I needed some true. Love the way you move. It's just me and you. Good vibe, and we should spend more time. Love and affection. I don't wanna give you the wrong impression. I don't wanna give you, girl, what you wanna know.
For the session I've used the hybrid setup. That means that I've used some hardware for the tubas. First I want to show you the setup in the DAW, and I want to show you exactly what I've used in the analog domain. As you can see, the session is pretty small. We have the beat and then a few vocal tracks. Most of my session have this sort of setup. I have a few buses for the vocals. I have a ad-lib bus, a verse bus, hook, a special vox where I can route other vocals. And as you can see, these are my vocals. Everything goes to what I have in the vocal folders. The hook main goes to the hook bus, and everything follows the same principle. Then the vocal buses are going to one main vocal bus that I have here. For the session I'm using a summing mixer, the Tegeler Audio summing mixer. I wanted to add some tube saturation to the beat, even though the beat is just 2 tracks. I will have another video explaining how I have everything set up. As far as sends, I have 2 reverbs and 3 delays. Now I want to show you what I have in the analog domain. The track goes out to the Tegeler Audio summing mixer, and it goes into the VariTube compressor. This is not doing that much compression.
What you wanna know, I'ma answer your questions. Girl, just let me know. I go where you go, just give me a direction. Let me look at.
And with the summing mixer, I'm hitting it pretty hard because I want that tasty tube saturation. Out of the VariTube compressor, I'm going into the creme, doing some really light compression, 2:1 ratio, fast release, slow attack. Then I have a 2 dB boost at 100 Hz and 2 dB boost at 16.
Girl, just let me know. I go where you go, just give me a direction. Let me look at.
Now that you see the 2-bus processing that I have, let's move on to the in-the-box processing that I've done to the vocals. And I will start with the hook. The hook goes to the hook bus. This is the processing that I have.
Give you the wrong impression.
I'm using the new Autotune FX Plus from Antares for the pitch correction, retune speed around 10. As far as sends, I have my old trusted Echo Boy.
Girl, what you wanna know, I'ma answer your questions.
Some really nice lush delays that are not interfering with the vocals that much. I'm cutting the low end. Next I have the main reverb for the track. This is a large church from Seventh Heaven Professional.
Give you the wrong impression. Girl, what you wanna know, I'ma answer your questions.
Those are the only 2 sends that I have on the hook. Now I've bypassed the processing done on the hook bus and on the vocal bus, because that's how I usually process things. I process the hook bus, then I process the vocal bus.
Give you the wrong impression.
This is the raw vocal. First in the chain I have Fab Filter Pro Q3. Doing the correction, I have a low cut, filtering out some of that lower mids frequencies. This is with it.
Girl, what you wanna know, I'ma answer your questions. I go where you go, just give me a direction.
So removing some of that boxiness from the vocal. Next in the chain is the vintage exciter from Waves. I use this sometimes if I want the vocals to have a really nice shine on the top end. I'm using it on mix 1. I'm blending with the original signal. This adds some really nice saturation on the top end, but also does something to the lower mids.
Give you the wrong impression. Girl, what you wanna know? I'ma answer your questions. I go where you go, just give me a direction.
Next in the chain, de-esser.
All I need is your love and your affection.
Controlling some of that nasty sibilance. The next plugin is a C4. I'm not touching the top end. I'm only using it to control the mids, the lower mids, and the low end.
Give you the wrong impression. Girl, what you wanna know? I'ma answer your questions.
Next in the chain is BX Console SSL 4000E. I'm using this just for the EQ, adding some top end 8K 3dB, removing some 3K, removing some 2.5, and that's what I'm doing with this plugin.
I go where you go, just give me a direction. All I need is your love and your affection.
Next we have a compressor, our compressor. This is probably the compressor that I use the most when it comes to vocals nowadays. It's a really old plugin, but it has the sound that you're hearing nowadays on top hits that you're listening on the radio.
Give you the wrong impression. Girl, what you wanna know? I'ma answer your questions.
Adding a bit of gain with this because the vocals were a bit low in the mix. The ratio is really low, so the compression is not that obvious. Medium attack, medium release. Next in the chain, LA vocals. I'm using this plugin just to add some stereo spread to the vocals.
Go, just give me a direction. All I need is your love and your affection.
Last on the hook bass is this compressor. I'm just touching it. It adds a lot of character.
Give you the wrong impression. Girl, what you wanna know? I'ma answer your questions.
This is with the sends and with the hook bass processing.
Give you the wrong impression. Girl, what you wanna know? I'ma answer your questions.
Then we have a second hook that sounds like this.
Give you the wrong impression.
So it's a lower vocal, this goes to the special Vox bass. The processing on that is BX Console N, some filtering, adding some top end, removing some of the low mid frequencies. Let me bypass everything.
Give you the wrong impression. Girl, what you wanna know? I'ma answer your questions. I go where you go, just give me a direction. I need is your love and your affection.
C4 to control some of the low end and lower mids. CLA vocals to add some lush reverb and some stereo spread. That's all the processing done on this track. Together with the hook, it sounds like this.
Give you the wrong impression. Girl, what you wanna know? I'ma answer your questions.
Then we have the ad-libs.
I don't wanna give you.
What I have on the ad-libs is the same reverb, a different delay, still Echo Boy with a distorted style, and I have a Valhalla delay automated on the last ad-lib.
Yeah.
Just to end the song really nice. In terms of processing, EFX Plus, pitch correction, stereo delta. This is one of my plugins that I use if I want to add some stereo spread to mono sources like vocals.
I don't wanna give you.
Then C4.
I don't wanna give you.
I wanted to emphasize the telephone sides of the ad-libs, and I've boosted that range from 500 to 4K and also controlled it with a compressor. The processing on the ad-lib bus is pretty similar with the hook bus. Fab Filter Pro Q3, Aphex, de-esser, C4, hard compressor, and vocal. I needed the vocals to sound pretty similar in terms of tone and character. The hook is composed of two parts, a question and an answer.
Give you the wrong impression. I don't wanna give you. Girl, what you wanna know? I'ma answer your questions. Girl, just let me know.
That's the hook processing. On the verse, I have the same reverb. The verse lead goes to the verse bass. This is with the processing bypassed.
Hard to express myself. Don't know where to start. Think I needed some help. Had a broken heart, wasn't good for my health. Love you for who you are. Need to love yourself.
Similar processing done to the verse 2. Fab Filter Pro Q3, Apex, de-esser, C4, X console, same thing, same compressor. The verse bass is processed exactly the same as the hook. The only difference is the gain stage. On the verse, the ad-libs go to the ad-lib bass. Pre-hook section that goes to the verse.
True, true, true. Love the way you move, move, move. It's just me and you. So what you wanna do, do, do? Cause all I say is true, true, true. Love the way you move, move, move.
Then we have a second part of the verse. So the second part of the verse is a bit slower than the first one, so I have the delayed throw on that just to fill the gaps between words.
Good vibe, and we should spend more time. Cause I haven't had a good time in such a...
And also I have the Valhalla delay doing some delayed throws. The last two ad-libs are going to the same bus, no processing on those two. The only difference is that I have this illusion reverb on them with the chamber, so that's a smaller reverb. As you can see, most of the processing is similar. For this song I didn't want to have the vocals sounding different from section to section, going from the hook to the verse, from the verse to the hook. The only thing that moves throughout the song are the sends with some automation, adding some different delays, some different reverbs on specific vocals. On the vocal bass, I've used some hardware. I have a Bettermaker compressor as the vocal bass compressor and a Prometheus from West Audio doing some EQing. Let me show you that right now. So this is the Bettermaker compressor. It's pretty fast, pretty grabby. I'm doing just a small amount of gain reduction.
True, true, true. Love the way you move, move, move. It's just me and you. So what you wanna do, do, do? Cause all I say is true, true, true. Love give you the wrong impression. I don't wanna give you. Girl, what you wanna know, just start.
It's grabbing just some of those transients. Next in the chain, Prometheus, full textile EQ. I'm adding some 3K and I'm rolling off some top end at 20 kilohertz.
I don't wanna give you. Girl, what you wanna know, just start asking. Girl, just let me know. I go where you go, just give me a direct.
I've also used Prometheus to increase the level of the vocal.
Direction, send me location. All I need is your love and your affection. Love and affection. I don't wanna give you the wrong impression.
Next on the chain is Spiff. I'm using this on the vocal bass to remove some of the clicks created by the compression, some of those artifacts already present on the vocal track.
Wrong impression. I don't wanna give you. Girl, what you wanna know, I'ma answer you.
It just rounds the vocals in a really nice way that I like. Next, C4, this time controlling the lower mids and the top end.
I'ma answer your questions. Girl, just let me know. I go where you go.
de-esser,
Girl, just say yes. All I say is true.
Soot.
All I say is true, true, true. Love the way you move, move, move.
Most of the time when I'm dealing with this sort of vocals, I use RX declick. I have it on bypass most of the time. When I'm mixing, I'm engaging it just when doing the final render. It removes the artifacts that are already recorded in the vocals. Next in the chain, L2, catching the peaks.
Move, move, it's just me and you. So what you wanna do, do, do? Cause all I say is true, true, true. Love the way you move, move. Give you the wrong impression.
Last, Fab Filter Pro Q3.
Impression. I don't.
So this is the processing that I've done on the vocals. Another thing that I've done is on the actual beat. I have a smart comp. I'm using the sidechain docking. I have a video on that on the channel. This is basically doing some sidechain compression to make room for the vocals.
Girl, just let me know. I go where you go, just give me a direction. Send me location. All I need is your love.
Really subtle, but it helps with the final mix. I felt that by going through the summing mixer, by adding the Varitube compressor. I've lost some of the transients on the actual beat. I've added some of that back with Spiff. Really subtle, but it really helps. Now let me play you again the track without any processing.
Need is your love and your affection. Yeah. You got a good vibe, and we should spend more time. Cause I haven't had a good time in such a long time.
Now with the processing.
Good vibe, and we should spend more time. Cause I haven't had a good time in such a long time. I don't wanna give you the wrong signs.
So this is how I've mixed this song. One thing that I wanted to do for a really long time is to release some presets, some templates that you can download, that you can purchase from my website. And before making this tutorial, I was thinking to start from scratch and doing some presets. I want to do that, but I also want to release some of the projects that I mixed in their final setup. So you can check the plugins settings, you can check the routing, you can bring your own vocals into the project and just tweak the settings, just add more plugins, just remove some plugins, add more reverbs, delays and things like that. You can download the session from my website, it's available now, go check that out. I really appreciate the support. I will release more presets and more session templates. Also, if you get this session, you can reach out via email, and if you have any questions about the setup, I will try and answer it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the like button, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, and see you guys next time. Cheers.